Ohayo gozaimasu. Vince desu. Good morning, everyone. Minasan, ohayo gozaimasu. Today, it's lesson. Sorry, I wasn't able to deliver lessons for the past few weeks. But right now, we'll catch up on some things. So, just a recap on our previous lesson 0012. We have discussed about the ichidan verb or the ru-verb and the Godan verb or u-verb in this reference book. Please do not be confused with the ru-verb of the previous lesson, classifying the two kinds of verb, ru-verb or ichidan and u-verb as Godan verb. Please don't be confused with that. As with the ru-verb of previous lesson, don't confuse it with the ru sound. The ru sound of this lesson of extraction of stems. Please do not be confused also with the u-verb of the previous lesson. That u-verb, which is also called Godan verb. Please do not be confused with the u-verb of that lesson with the u sound of this lesson concerning extraction of stems. So okay, let's discuss about the extraction of stems. Okay, why do we need to study and learn extraction of stems? In other books or references, the extracted stem that we use in this lecture is also termed as the masu stem of a verb. The extraction of stems is done for the purpose of reason number one. It is a very crucial skill so as to learn conjugation. Now, what is conjugation? Conjugation is a term used in learning nihongo that describes the process of dropping or removing hiragana characters from a kunyomi or from a particular set of hiragana characters and then replacing it with either a single hiragana character or a set of hiragana characters. The easiest example of conjugation is given in Nihongo lesson 006. If you can go back or make a quick glimpse of quick browse of the Nihongo lesson 006 of this YouTube channel, that is the simplest or the easiest example of conjugation. Reason number two, why do we need to learn this skill, extraction of stems? Reason number two, it is to form new words and to expand our vocabulary or goi. Vocabulary is goi. A noun, reason number two, we have to expand our vocabulary. Like a noun is created from a verb. A noun is created from a verb through extraction. A prefix type of noun or suffix type of noun is also created from a verb through extraction of stem. And also to form a kunyomi compounded words. Examples of this is the omoidas, and then torimodos. Omoidas is to recall something on your memory. Torimodos is to take something back. This one is warai sugi, or laughing too much. This one is tabe sugiru, meaning you've eaten much, so or too much eating. Or uri or the sales. Urikire means sold out of products. Sold out. So other examples are mochikomi or the a thing that you bring with you. Mochikomu is the U sound of the mochikomi. Mochikomi is the thing that you bring with you. Mochikomi is the act of bringing something with you. Dekakeru means to go out. Let's say you have to go out of your house. Dekakeru. And this one is bukake, a meal, a type of meal, especially in a udon shop or in some ramen shop. Bukake. So you see, with the skill extraction of stems, we can create new nouns and we can expand our vocabulary. And then reason number 3, why do we need to study this extraction of stems? To jointly utilize our learnings on reason number 1, conjugation, and also combining it with our learnings in reason number 2, expanding our vocabulary as essential skills to learn intermediate to advanced lessons like conjugation within a conjugation, and the te forms or other forms, because there are other verb forms like the potential form, the volitional form, the passive form, causative form, conditional form, and also the honorifics. The honorific way of speaking Japanese, let's say polite nihongo, respectful nihongo, and humble nihongo. Polite nihongo is teinego. Respectful nihongo is sonkeigo, and humble nihongo is kenjogo. Okay, so extraction of stems. Do you remember in our last lesson 0012, we have discussed there the ru-verbs or ichidan verbs. When we are to do extraction of stem for a ru-verb or ichidan verb, let's say for example taberu, meaning to eat, taberu. You notice the hyphen, or in other books dot, the hyphen or dot in some books. In this parenthesis enclosed hiragana writing, which in this case indicates an ichidan verb. This indicates an ichidan verb, but it is also found in kunyomi readings for Godan verbs and adjectives. This hyphen here, let me point out that hyphen. That hyphen, I have highlighted that hyphen. That hyphen there is what we call the separation point in a given kunyomi. So what is that separation point? Let's take for example this taberu. In taberu, it is pronounced in 3 syllables, taberu. You notice that the kanji is only present in the first syllable, the ta. But how about the beru? Beru is represented in hiragana. The hyphen between the ta and beru is the separation point, and thus is represented here as hyphen, but in some books it's dot. So that separation point is a crucial point when we with regard to conjugation and other formation of new vocabularies. The separation point is that particular part of a kunyomi where the conjugation takes place. The separation point is also that particular point where we do extraction of stems. For ru-verbs or ichidan verbs, we simply drop the ru part, or in this tabiru, in the case of tabiru, we just have to drop that ru, the third syllable, the ru. Simply drop the ru. Why so simple in rules? Because that's when we deal with ichidan verbs or ru-verbs, the rule for extraction is very simple. Simply drop the ru in that rightmost part. So that's it. You just have to drop the ru. So that tabiru now becomes tabe. So the extracted form or extracted stem or mass stem of tabiru is tabe. So very simple, isn't it? So now we go to the tricky part, the u-verbs or Godan verbs. Before we we take into the nitty-gritty of this extraction of stems for Godan verbs, we need first to learn about the do you remember the goju-on, or the chart, the table for the hiragana? Let us check. Okay, let us recall our lessons in kana writing or hiragana and katakana. Do you notice the leftmost column, K, S, T, and H? So let us read it from left to right. So that's ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. And for S, sa, shi, su, se, so. For T, ta, chi, chu, te, to. For N, na, ni, nu, ne, no. So the column for U, u, ku, su, tu, nu, hu. The column for U is the U sound, not u-verb but U sound. And usually the U sound is what we call the plain form or the dictionary form. In other instructors or teachers and textbooks, they call it as the dictionary form. In other references, they call it as the plain form. So for the purpose of being unified with the greater majority, we will call this U sound as the dictionary form. So that's the dictionary form in which others call it as plain form. So the dictionary form of a verb is that U sound. So let's say, for example, for that ka is the A counterpart for ku, and ki is the I counterpart sound or the I sound for ku. Ki is the I sound counterpart or I sound for the U sound ku, and she is the I sound or I counterpart for the su, and the chi is the I sound for the U sound chu. So more examples. And me is the I sound for the dictionary form or for the U sound mu. Me is the I sound for the U sound mu, and ri is the I sound for the ru. So what's the significance for that? So the significance of knowing this U sound is and I sound is for the rules for extracting the stems of Godan verbs. Okay, for Godan verbs, going back to Godan verbs or u-verbs, below are example of verbs that we will do extraction on, u-verbs. So for the U sounds, this is what I call the explicit U. Explicitly, or explicit U. What's the example of explicit U? Let's say chikao. Why do I call it explicit U? Because other than the kanji, you can see the letter, the U, the hiragana U. The hiragana U is expressively indicated as if dangling and being visible to us after the kanji, and there's no other hiragana at the left part of that U. So example is the chikao, or to make a promise or to make a vow. Chikao, to make a vow or to make a promise or to make an oath. Let's transform that U sound, which is U, transform that U sound to its I sound. So extracting the chikao, or make an oath or promise or vow, the U part of the chikao is to be changed to I sound. So how do we do that? So the chikao now becomes chikai. So before, the meaning is to a verb, to make a vow, to make an oath, or to vow, or to make a promise. And when we do the extraction, it now becomes a noun. The verb becomes a noun. Now the meaning changes to an oath and a vow. So that's a verb transformed into a noun. So next is the chu sound verbs. Example of chu sounds: tsu. Sorry, that's tsu, not chu. Tsu sound. Mats. Example is mats. Mats, or meaning to wait. Mats is a Godan or u-verb. Mats meaning to wait. Transform this U sound. Let's transform the U sound again. Transform that U sound. What's the U sound in that reading? That to. Transform that U sound to its counterpart I sound. So what's the I sound for to? As you've seen in the presented table, the chu sound has the I counterpart chi. So the I sound for to is chi, or match. So the mats, or meaning wait, mats, now becomes machi. Just like in omachi kudasai, machi, meaning the act of waiting. As you have seen, the formerly verb mats now becomes machi. When we do the extraction, the matsu becomes machi, meaning the act of waiting or waiting time, which is often being transformed to its keigo or formal form, which is omachi, just like in omachi kudasai. So the mats verb becomes a noun, and that noun, that is what we use, the omachi, is commonly transformed into omachi to become keigo. Keigo is a formal way of speaking in Japanese. And now number 3, the ru sound. Take note, not ru-verbs as in classifying verb by conjugation, but ru sound in Godan, because there are Godan verbs, or there are there are u-verbs, or Godan verbs that ends in ru. Believe it or not, there are Godan verbs or u-verbs that ends in ru, and we call it as ru sound verbs. Example, oru. Oru is a verb. We get the extracted form of oru. So what is the ru? We find the I sound for ru. The I sound for ru is ri. So the oru becomes ori, as in origami. The oru meaning to bend or to fold. So the oru becomes origami. So you see, this ori is commonly being referred to as origami or other forms of kunyomi compounded word. So this is just an example of how useful extraction of verbs is. Okay, so ori, the oru becomes ori. Now the meaning changes. The act of folding. Before it is to bend or to fold or to fracture. Now it's the act of folding or forming pleats. And this noun is being used as a noun prefix to combine with another noun to form a new word, as in ori plus kami. Ori plus kami, meaning you do the act of folding to a paper. Ori plus kami becomes origami. That's kami. Why the kami changes to gami? Because when you do compounding of kunyomi readings, the second kanji will be affected by the compounding. So the effect is the consonant part of that reading is being changed into its dacten form. So this kami, what is dacten form for kami? So gami. So compounding of kunyomi, ori plus kami, and its compounding. So the second kanji will receive the dacten way of the dacten form of reading for that hiragana. The kami becomes gami, and hence origami. And we all know origami is a Japanese art which employs the use of folded paper to create forms like crane, bird, boat, etc. So another example for the ru sound verbs. Another example, owaru. So this is a verb meaning to end or to put an end something or to close something, and it has a nuance of it will be closed or because it has to be ended. Now let us transform the owaru in its extracted form. So again, the ru, drop the ru and place that ru in its I sound. So what's the I sound of ru? Ri. So the owaru becomes owari. And now you may often see this in many movies or many series, the word owari. So owaru is a verb form, owari is the noun. You may see this often in many movies or many series or TV series. So the owaru now becomes owari, and it's now a noun meaning the end, as in movie, drama, anime, or game or TV series that has reached the final point of its last episode. So mu sounds. Example of mu sounds is the nomu, meaning to drink. So now we have the mu. So what's the I sound for mu? Mi. So the I sound for mu is mi. We change it to mi. So the nomu becomes nomi, and it's now a noun because it has undergone the process of extraction of stem. The nomu is now nomi, and it is now a noun meaning something related to drinking. Nomi is a noun used as a prefix to combine with another noun to form a new word, as in nomi mono. nomi plus mono. The meaning is nomi mono is a beverage that we drink. Okay, nu sounds. So similarly for nu sounds, we have to find the I sound for nu. So what's the I sound for nu? Ni. So shinu meaning to die. The shinu becomes shini. Shinu becomes shini. And shini is a noun used as a prefix to combine with another noun to form a new word, as in shinigiwa, meaning on the verge of death or on the brink of death, or you may also hear this word shinigami, or the death god. Now we have bu sound verbs. Example of bu sound verbs: asobu meaning to play. Now we will transform the asobu into its extracted form. So what's the I sound for bu? B. So the asobu becomes asobi. So asobi, the word asobi acts as a noun, as in a mother told her son, asobi wa shukudai ga dekita no ato da. Asobi wa shukudai no dekita no ato da. So meaning you can only play. So the act of play or playing asobi will be after he has completed or made his homework. Ato means after he has completed his homework. Asobi wa shukudai nga dekita no ato da. You can only play after you are done with your homework. So asobu becomes asobi. So another example of bu sound. So remember the musubu, musubi. Have you eaten musubi? Musubi is usually from konbini or convenience stores. Musubi is the extracted form of musubu. What is musubu? Musubu means to tie, to bind, to link, to close tightly. Extracted form is musubi. So when you make musubi, you bind and you close tightly the rice, the Japanese rice. So what is musubi? It's also known as omusubi or onigiri, a Japanese rice ball. So it's very popular, and then that is mixed or filled with chopped or filled or topped with a variety of ingredients, and oftentimes wrapped in nori or dried kelp. And once again, we can see here that a verb musubu is transformed into a noun, which is musubi. A food sold in restaurants, convenience stores, and in some yatai or food cart. Now we have this su sound verbs. Example of su sound: hanas, meaning to narrate, to talk, to discuss, to converse with someone. Transform this the su sound, transform the su into its extracted form. First, we drop that su and replace it with its I sound. What's the I sound for su? Shi. The I sound for su is shi. So the hanasu becomes hanashi. Hanashi has the meanings talk, or the acting as noun, talk, narration, story, discussion, conversation. And now we have these ku sound verbs. Okay, so that's for the su sound, like in hanasu becomes hanashi because the su is transformed into its I sound. So the I sound for su is shi. So thereby giving from hanasu, the extracted form is hanashi, meaning narration or story, discussion, conversation. So now we go to number 8, the ku sound verbs. Example of a ku sound verbs is a kaku. Kaku. Kaku is a verb meaning to write. Now let's transform the ku sound, which is ku. Transform that ku into its I sound. The ku is the I sound for ku is ki. So the kaku becomes kaki. Now kaki is a noun that is used as a prefix and sometimes a suffix to combine with another noun to form a new word. Example, kakikata. Kakikata, wherein the kaki is combined with another noun. Kata is a way of doing or methodology or method, way of doing. Kaki plus kata is kakikata. So kakikata is a noun formed by combining kaki and kata. And the formed noun, kakikata, has the meaning the way of writing. So you see, when you combine the noun form for write, kaku, you make it a stem. Extracted stem is kaki, and combine it with the another kanji or another word, kata, it becomes kakikata. So that's the rule, because if you want to combine kanji, you have to make the left side of the compound kunyomi or compound word, make that left side into a extracted stem or mass stem form, just like this one, kaki plus kata. You cannot say kaku kata. So you must have to transform the kaku into its extracted form, which is kaki. So that's kaki plus kata is kaki kata. So meaning, way of writing, manner of writing, or penmanship. So that's it for kaku. Kaki is a prefix or suffix type of noun and used to form kakikata, or sometimes kakisuji. Kakisuji. Or suji gaki. So why did the kaki becomes gaki? As I have said, if a kunyomi reading, so still the extracted form is a kunyomi reading. So if a kunyomi reading is now at the middle part or at the right part of another kunyomi, or meaning if the kunyomi reading is not the leftmost part, it will oftentimes being transformed into its dacten form reading. So kaki, what is the dacten form for kaki? Gaki. So suji gaki. So not suji kaki but suji gaki. So the kaki becomes gaki because that's the rule. If you are combining kanji or combining words to form a new word or compounding a word, if the second word or the second or third word, meaning if you are not the leftmost part, the affected reading will receive its dacten form, and sometimes in few cases not the dacten but the hand dacten, but oftentimes transformed into its dacten form. So the dacten form for kaki is gaki. So and hence not suji kaki but suji gaki. Suji gaki means synopsis, outline, or plot. Let's say a story or movie. So number 9, gu sound verbs. Gu sound verbs. Example of gu: kasegu. Kasegu is a verb meaning to earn money or to gain time. Now let's transform that gu sound into its I sound. So the gu in the kasegu transformed into its I sound the kasegu now becomes kasegi. So kasegi is the extracted form or extracted stem or mass stem for the kasegu. It's now kasegi. Kasegi. Meaning, so kasegu is a verb. We get the extracted stem or mass stem form of kasegu. It's now kasegi. And kasegi is now a noun which has a meaning earning or a gerund type of a noun. Gerunds are verbs ending in ing that acts as a noun or to gain, especially to gain time. Jikan kasegi. Jikan kasegi is gaining time or to buy time. Example, jikan kasegi. Jikan kasegi, which means to gain time or to buy time or just stalling time to buy time. So that's kasegi. So number 10 is the ru-verb. So you have noticed the ru-verb. Ru-verb is a special case. So it is unlike the previous one, ru sound. You cannot say that the ru-verb, the extracted form of that is suri. So it's not suri. The extracted form of suru is not suri, but suru. If you want to get the extracted stem or the mass stem for the suru, it's not suri, but this is a special case. Ru-verb, the extracted form of that, extracted stem of that is the shi. Simply shi. Suru, shi. Suru simply becomes shi. The suru verb means to do. Transform it into its extracted stem form, it becomes she. So the suru simply becomes she. This she is usually in suffix usage. We use the she as a suffix, thus hyphen she. Example, shinpai shi. Shinpai is a noun capable of being a suru verb. Shinpai meaning to worry. Shinpai. Shinpai is a noun capable of being attached to suru, making it a suru verb. Shinpai suru, or a suru type of noun, making it a suru verb. So instead of saying shinpai suru, because if you say shinpai suru, the shinpai suru is a verb, but if you use the extracted stem form for suru and attaching it to shinpai, it becomes shinpai shi. Shinpai shi, or the acting as noun, meaning the act of worrying about something or someone, the act or state of worrying, the act of worrying about something or someone. Not shinpai suru, because we transform the suru into shi. So instead of saying shinpai suru, shinpai shi, to get the noun form. So the last one is kuru. Kuru is also a special type of verb. So kuru, when you get the extracted form, it's not kuri. Yes, it's ending in ru, but please bear in mind that like suru, kuru is an exception type of verb, an exception or special type of verb that we cannot apply the rule for ru sounding Godan verbs. So like suru, we don't say suri. In that suru, we say shi. But in kuru, the extracted stem or the mass stem or extracted form of the kuru is simply ki. The kuru becomes ki. So kuru is a verb that means to come, either in a nuance of spatially or temporally. To approach, to come, to approach, or to arrive. So please be careful with this suru and kuru. They end in ru, but they are not ichidan. They're not ru-verbs, and the extraction of stem rule is not similar to the to the one discussed above. So it's not suri. The suru verb becomes shi, and the kuru verbs becomes simply ki. So let us once again summarize our lesson. Okay, don't worry, in the description box I will put again this summary, and also in the description box I will put again the concept for definition, or rather the definition for the conjugation. So this is the summary. Rules for extracting the stem of verbs. Summary: rules for extracting the stem of verbs. For ru-verbs or ichidan verbs, just simply remove the ru. For example, taberu, it becomes tabe. For u-verbs or Godan verbs, the last vowel sound changes from its u sound vowel. So for u-verbs or Godan verbs, the last vowel sound, which is usually in dictionary form or u, changes from a u vowel sound to its I vowel sound. So example is, this is to swim, oyogu becomes oyogi. Notice that the gu, what is the I sound for the gu? It's gi. So the oyogu, meaning to swim, becomes oyogi, or the act of swimming. So for exception type of verbs like the suru becomes shi, kuru becomes ki. Okay, last leg of this lesson. The stem, when used by itself, can be a very specialized and limited way of creating noun from verbs, while the no particle allows you to talk about verbs as if they were nouns. The stem actually turns verbs into nouns. In fact, in very rare cases, the stem or the extracted stem is used more often than the verb itself. For example, the stem of okuru means to get angry. The stem of for example, the stem of the ikaru, this is the kanji meaning to get angry. The stem of ikaru is used more often than the verb itself. So what is the stem of ikaru? So that's ikari. The stem of ikaru is used. The stem of that is ikari, is used more often than the verb itself. You remember the movie of Bruce Lee, Fist of Fury? The Fist of Fury is translated as not ikaru no teken, but ikari. Fury is a noun. So, and ikaru is to get angry or to be in fury state. So get the stem of ikaru, it's ikari. So the movie of Bruce Lee, Fist of Fury, is translated as ikari no teken. Teken is iron fist. Ikari no teken, and not ikaru teken. So the no here is acting as a modifier, meaning teken is an iron punch or a very strong punch, and the ikari, the noun meaning the fury or fist of fury, ikari no teken, and not ikaru teken. In fact, this form, the kanji for anger plus the ru, in fact this form will most likely be read as okuru. just like what I have mistakenly read a while ago. In fact, this form of kanji with the uh, okurigana is that part of a kanji reading that is represented as hiragana after a kanji. So the okurigana of this form is ru. So the whole form is hikaru. In fact, this form will most likely be read as okuru. Okuru is a completely different verb with the same meaning in kanji. So you see, there are a number of specific nouns such as yasumi or good night, or yasumi. Yasumi actually came from yasumu, meaning to take rest, but if we take the extracted stem for the yasumu, change the mu into mi sound, so the mu in the mi sound, change that mu sound into mi sound, so the yasumu becomes yasumi. So the yasumu verb now becomes a noun, yasumi, such as the yasumi that are really verb stems that are used like regular nouns. However, in general, we cannot just take any verb and make it into a noun. So, for example, the following sentence is wrong. The sentence makes sense, but no one talks like this. Nomi wo suru, so make a drinking act. So it's weird. So it's like do a drinking act. So nomi is a drinking act or act of drinking. Suru is do something. So do a drinking act. So it sounds weird. However, a useful grammar that works in general for stems for all verbs is using the stem as a target with the motion verb. What are the motion verbs? Iku and kuru. Iku means to go or to conduct something or make something happen, or to go or execute something or make something happen. Kuru means to come, or yuku in this case is to go. These are motion verbs. This grammar means to go or to come, to do some verb. Here's an example. Ashita eiga wo mini iku. So this mi is actually miru, but they take the extracted stem for the ichidan verb miru. So I have told you that if you're dealing with ichidan verbs or ru-verbs, you just have to drop the ru. So the miru here, the ru in miru here was taken out, so mi was left, and that mi is now a noun. So this noun becomes a purpose. So what is the purpose of going? The purpose is mi. The purpose is seeing a movie. Ashita eiga wo mini iku, meaning tomorrow I will go to see movie. Tomorrow go to see a movie. Ashita eiga wo mini iku. So that's the purpose of going. What's the purpose? Mi, see a movie. Eiga wo mini iku. So the purpose of iku is to see a movie. Mini is the stem of miru, combined with the target particle ni. The motion target particle sounds like you're literally going to or coming to something, while the ni particle implies that you're going or coming for the purpose of doing something. So this is another lesson. As I recall, we have not yet formally discussed the difference in this and ni, this target particle with the motion target particle. But nevertheless, let's see the sentences. Ashita tomodachi ga asube shita. Kino tomodachi ga asube shita. Yesterday, a friend came to playing activity. Sounds a bit strange, but This one is better. Kino tomodachi ga asobi ni shita. The expression tanoshimi ni suru, meaning to look forward to, is formed from grammar similar to this, but it is a special case and should be considered as a set expression. So once again, this is screenshot. This other special forms or other compounded kunyomi words, like hashiru becomes hashiri, hashiridas, to break out into a run. So these are just examples of using the extracted form to combine it with another word, another term, to make a new compounded word. So sorry if this lesson took so long, but really have to discuss the extracted form of a verb, or extracting a stem of a verb, or getting the mass stem of a verb, because this is a very essential skill in learning Japanese. And also the one that I have discussed to you, the conjugation, is a very special skill to learn when you're dealing with Japanese language, other than the extraction of stems of a verbs. So like this, if you have learned the extraction of stem, you can combine this with another word, forming a new word, just like this one. Hashiru extracted is the hashiri, you get the hashiridas, you get a new meaning, to break out into a run. So the other is kirikairu, which means to switch over to something else. And just like this, tukekairu, meaning to add something by attaching it. Yeah, so as I have discussed in the first part, so that's one of the rationale or reason why we have to discuss this extracted stem of verbs, or in other books termed as mass stem of a verb. So let's go back again to the conjugation. But don't worry, in the description box, I will once again put this definition for conjugation. Conjugation is a very essential skill in learning Japanese. So that's it. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your patience, and thank you for watching this video. And if I may request, minasan, if I may request, please, LSS means like, share, and subscribe. And please share this lesson also to your other colleagues, to your friends. Please like, share, and subscribe, and please click that bell notification. So this is as far as we go. Kyo kokomade desu. Okay, Sagumade o mite arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you for watching until the end. Goshichou kudasari arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you for watching. So see you at the next video. Mata ne. Mata mina. Arigatou gozaimasu. Ja, mata.